Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another unboxing. This is for the Ultimate Uno. So I've previously done the core set. There's a big box here, which had Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Thor, and Iron Man. And then now they've released the first set, hopefully the first set of add-on packs. So maybe they'll make some more of these. Yeah, so this is essentially if you know how to play Uno, you can, it's, shares a lot of the same rules. You can check out my main video for maybe a little bit more in-depth. But we're going to go over Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, and Doctor Strange in the 3 separate packs. Now, just to get this question out of the way right away, because everyone's going to be asking me this, is if you buy, can you just buy these and not buy the core set? Yes. Kind of. I only say kind of because it does say it requires it on every box, but it only requires it for the instructions. If you have played this for somebody else, or you go online, you can find the instruction book or a how to play video. You can figure out how to play it that way. Then you actually don't need to. That's the only thing it has. Otherwise, every deck can play separate, independent. It's a 2 to 4 player game. So you could pick up Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange and just sit down and have 2 people play the game. You don't need the core for that. You only need it for the rules. There's no tokens or extra. Lots of games you'll have a separate set of deck or something, but nope. It's just 4 independent decks in there, and this is just 3 different ones. Alright, so we're gonna head and look at these. Yeah, so just a refresher, I guess, in case you're not familiar. If you're not familiar how you play Uno is, each player plays cards from their hand, and the goal is to get down to 1 card, you shout Uno, and if you can play your final card without anyone stopping you or making you draw extra cards, you win the game. This just adds a couple of different twists to it. And Spider-Man won't open for some reason. I don't want to wreck the box, but I don't have to, but I might have to. Yeah, so this adds a couple of different things. It adds, each player gets their own decks instead of having a shared deck that everyone draws from. Each player gets their own deck. Each player has a signature card, which gives them their own special abilities. Then they also have a couple other things. So we'll look at some of the basic stuff first, and we'll kind of go over them. So the basic things every deck is going to have your number cards in the 4 different colors. So we have reds, and then some of them are going to have this danger symbol at the top, which we'll go over when we get there. But yeah, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they only go up to 6 in this. Typical Uno goes 0 through 9. So you have 10 different cards. They shrunk down the number because of the other amount of cards in the deck. And you get +2s, which this forces another player to play 2. So whenever you play down a card, someone has to play either a corresponding color card or a corresponding number card. So if I played a 6, that means the next player would either have to play a 6 of any color, or they would have to play another red card. And then basically how you're trying to get your hand on. But again, each player has their own deck. Instead of sharing a deck, she's just trying to go through that. So you have +2, you have reverses, which switches the turn order. You have skips, which skips another player. Then we go to the next colors. And it's going to be all the same things, just in a different color order. So we have all the greens. And all the pictures for all the numbers are going to be the same. So you get the +2, the reverse, and the switch. The slight difference in here is going to be, so on the opposite 2 colors, so on red and green, the danger symbol is on the odd numbers. And then on yellow and blue, that danger symbol is on the even numbers. And this is the same for every single character. So every character is going to have these exact same cards. There won't be any differences between them. So that's a shared deck aspect. They'll have different pictures, of course. So I'm kind of just whipping through these. Then the next thing they have in Uno are wilds, which have these 4 colors. So wilds lets you play them down, and they give you... So like, you play a wild, it lets you change it to whatever color you want. So if you have a lot of reds in your hand, you can change it to red. If you have a lot of blues, you can change it to blues. And then usually some of them have special things like draw 4. And that's all Uno is. It has the colors, the numbers, the draws. Ultimate Uno here adds extra rules. Besides having separate decks, you're going to get specialty cards, which are going to do extra things. And where did I put his... There it is. So right off the bat, everyone's going to get a player card. So this is me playing Spider-Man. Just got a little spider symbol on there. It's going to give me a special abilities. It says when you defeat an enemy, all other players add 1 card and burn 2 cards. So adding and burning cards are new special keywords they have in there. So that's the other thing. Because you're sharing a deck, they're going to have other things. But instead of being down to 1 card for, like, typical Uno, the rules for this game, I just brought the instruction book, says be the first player to get rid of all cards in your hand, or the last player cards in your deck. So you can get the regular Uno by getting rid of all the cards in your hand, or you can make everyone else run out of cards in their deck. And there's various ways to do this, like the adding, burning, and effects like that. So typically how the game works, if you can't draw a card, so let me just... It says, if you have a matching card in your hand, you may play it on the discard pile, which is in the center of the table. If there's an action on it, you can do the action. But you may choose to draw a card instead, even if you have one. So maybe you don't want to play one for some reason. But if you do not have a matching card, you have to draw 1 card from your deck. This is how your deck runs out. Your new card can be played if you want, but it does not have to play. And then your turn ends. So unlike some games of Uno where you draw and draw and draw until you find a card that matches, here you draw 1 card. Either you play a card or you draw a card. And then your turn is done. And then it's the next person's turn. And that's as simple as that. And then a couple of the other terms on here were adding cards. So, like Spider-Man here decided to add a card. It says take the number of cards indicated from your character deck, add them to your hand. So adding is essentially drawing without ending your turn. If something says to draw that many cards, but then you end your turn. So drawing ends your turn, but adding just lets you do the same idea, just you get to keep playing. Then there's burning cards. Just take the number of cards from the top of your deck, put them face up in the battle pile known as the burn pile. So this would be like essentially like a discard pile next to your character deck. So like there's your deck, there's your burn pile. So they're not going to the main discard pile like all the other cards. These are kind of going to your personal discard because there might be ways to get them back. Which is recover. Take the number of cards indicated one at a time from the top of your burn pile and put them at the bottom. So basically you're going to be focusing between maybe forcing other players to add, burn, or draw cards, and then you're going to want to try and recover your own cards to keep your deck from running out. So with that said, being Spider-Man, when he defeats an enemy, all other players add 1 card and burn 2 cards. So basically they lose 3 cards off of their deck. And then there are enemy cards, which are enemy event cards, which are the new thing. So they have this danger deck, which has a different backer than the regular one. These all get mixed in together with everybody else's deck. So if I'm playing Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and Scarlet, I mix all of their danger cards into one deck. This is a shared deck that players might have to draw from. And it's unique to each character, which is really cool. So let's look at Spider-Man's wild cards. So we're going to get 2 copies of Great Power, Great Responsibility. So skip the next player, they add 1 card and burn 1 card. And they get 2 copies of Maximum Spider. Defeating enemy, you don't have to be facing it. So each character is also going to have their own little theme or gimmick on what they do. So Spider-Man here so far looks like he likes to burn and add and defeat enemies. He's got 3 copies of Web Sling. So choose an enemy and move it to another player. And he's got 4 copies of Spider Bite. So it's kind of like rare, like super rare, rare, common, and uncommon cards. Spider Bite. The next player flips danger cards until they reveal an enemy. Ignore all event cards revealed and discard them. So Spider-Man deals a lot with making people have to play with enemies or getting stuff from enemies. So that's what his basic deck is. And then what are enemies and what are danger cards? So let's just look over when we have to draw a danger card. So, during your turn, resolve any start of the turn effects from enemies, other event cards, or action cards, or any other cards that show up. Play a card from your hand. If you have a power, you can activate it. Battle. If you have an enemy attacking you, and the card satisfies the enemy defeat cost, defeat it. Danger. If the card you played to the discard pile shows a danger icon, flip over the top card of the danger deck and resolve its effect. So it'd be like your ones and like this one. So if I played this card, I have to play a danger card. So there's kind of a like why do you want to kind of avoid those. So let's look at Spider-Man's enemies. So they have a bunch of information on here. So if I ended up playing that and I drew this Green Goblin, now he's attacking me. And it says, when flipped, I said you may move any other enemy to another enemy player not being attacked by an enemy. You may move any other enemy to another player not being... So you can basically give someone an enemy. And then it says, while attacking, at the start of your turn, burn 1 card for each active enemy. So basically, the more they are, you have to keep burning cards. So you don't want to defeat him as quickly as you can. And then to defeat him, it says play any number card. So then on my turn, if I play a number card, I can defeat him and get rid of him. We can fight off against the Vulture. It says when flipped, reveal your hand. While attacking, start your turn, burn 1 random card from your hand, then add 1 card, then play a green, yellow, or blue. Venom. When flipped, add 1 card, then burn 1 card. While attacking, you may play a burn. You may play when you play a card, burn 1 card. And then attack, or to defeat, play a blue or a red. And then finally we got Craving. When flipped, add 1 card, skip the next player. When attacking, when you play a non-wild action card, add 1 card, and then play a yellow or red. So, Spider-Mans are fairly easy to beat. You gotta play basically colored cards. You could also draw these event cards. Which are all very unique to each character. So we have event, we have gamble, add 1 card, then recover 3 cards. Red alert, the active color is red. Feint, burn 2 cards. If the enemy is attacking you, you may move it to another player who is not being attacked by an enemy. And payback. All other players burn 2 cards. So this is Spider-Man's deck relies upon playing with the enemy cards, either defeating them, moving them back, or burning a lot of stuff. There's a lot of burn cards. So that's how Spider-Man plays. So that's very interesting there. Alright, so the last one we want to look at, there's about a little sheet here, just kind of. These wild cards make enemies flip danger cards and move enemies around. Sometimes you'll want to take an enemy from another player so you can defeat it in order to set up your character power. Alright. And then, because you want to set up his character power, meaning... So you might want to bring enemies to you, because it says when you defeat an enemy, all other players add 1 card and burn 1 card. So Spider-Man might want to pull enemies towards him, so that way he can gain more stuff. Then we get these special sealed card packs, which have extra foil cards in them. So they're all random. There's going to be 2 cards per pack. So they're going to be in any number of rarity. common, uncommon, rare, super rare, and ultra rare. And this can be from any of the set, from the base set, or any of the 3 expansions. They're kind of neat, kind of collectible, but how to get them is such a pain because you only get 2 per pack, and there's no, unlike regular trading cards, there's no reason to necessarily buy multiple sets of each one of these. But they are really neat. So we got that, and we got webs. So I could slide this in and replace it for web swing. And then that little dots in the corner showing what rarities they are. So it's basically your common is the card you get 4 of. The uncommon is the one you get 3 of. One of the rares is one of the ones you get 2 of. The other rare is your super super rare that you get 2 of. And then your ultra rare is your character card. So if I was going to look at foils, this would Spider Bite, which I have 4 copies of. This is my common, will be a common foil. Web Swing, which I have 3, will be my uncommon. And then Maximum Spider or Great Power and Responsibility. One will be the rare, one will be the super rare. And then your character card will be the ultra rare. So that's how your rarity is determined for those. But yeah, so even if you bought all 3 sets and everything, you're not going to have enough cards to get everything. So they're kind of neat, but they don't, like, for collector value, they're too hard to get a hold of. Even at $6 a pack, if you can find these in retail stores at $6 to get 2 random cards, I don't know if it's worth it. Alright, so that was Spider-Man. Now we're going to hop right in to Doctor Strange. And this will go a little bit quicker because I don't have to go over all the rules anymore. Alright, so there's Doctor Strange's back. And this is Doctor Strange. Being a master of mystic arts led to Doctor Strange controlling the playing field. Try to change the active color as much as you can by maximizing his character power. Use wild cards for both supporting his character power and stopping players from playing certain cards. Alright. So we're just going to do a quick run through these. And I'm just going to go through the one color. This time I'm not going to go through all 4 colors because all the artwork is the same on each card. It's just the different numbers. I do like all the borders are different on every character card too. Like his has that. Like there's Spider-Man's. Like they made each one look very unique. Plus all the different artwork. So there's like the green ones. There's one of the blue ones. And there's a yellow one. So I'm not going to go through all of these because it's the same cards over and over. Alright, our character card for Doctor Strange is Astral Projection. When you change the active color, choose a player to add one card. Alright, then he's going to have his 2 copies of Eye of Agamotto. Choose an active color. Choose the active color. In turn order, all other players taking turns burn a card until someone burns a card of the chosen color. And we have 2 copies of the Icy Tendrils of Acathlon. Reverse, you may skip the next player. 3 copies of the Shield of the Seraphim. Only numbered cards can be played until the start of your next turn. They're basically changing the color but then making it irrelevant. And then 4 copies of the Hairy Host of Hogarth. Choose active color. The color cannot be changed until the start of your next turn. So basically prevents anyone from playing their wilds. Alright, and then we are going to have our enemies. Now they have the symbols at the top that match the character. Because the way the rules state is if you're only playing with 3 characters, you only use the enemies and event cards that go with them characters. I don't think any of them correlate to where you have to have a specific character's card to do anything. I personally would, I myself, I'm just going to probably mix all of them together and just play everything in one deck. I think that'd be more fun. But that's just me. Maybe it's just so you hit things more often. I'm not sure. Or you don't end up with a giant stack of enemies. I'm not for sure. So you have Blackheart here. When flipped, burn one card. While attacking, at the start of your turn, reveal a wild card from your hand, or burn one card. To defeat, play a yellow or red. Dormammu. When flipped, all players burn one card, then add one card. While attacking, when you play a wild card, burn two cards. You see how its weakness goes towards Doctor Strange. And that might be the reason why they don't want you including other ones, because I think that way you have more of a chance of drawing something that's going to hurt that character. And then to defeat, play a non-wild action card. So action cards are anything that have symbols on them. So that's going to be your skip, your reverse, and your +2. Anything that does something other than just having a regular number is considered an action card. So all your wilds and those. Then we have Umar. When flipped, add one card and then reveal your hand. And while attacking, when you change to the active color, burn one card. And that says play a wild. And why do you want to reveal your hand? You might be like, what's the point? Because if someone else knows that you have a bunch of reds, they might change the color off of reds. That's basically why. And then Nightmare. When flipped, add one card, then reverse. While attacking, at the start of your turn, reveal your hand. And that's just play any danger card. So he has a little bit harder things to defeat than Spider-Man did. His events are Peak, reveal your hand. Confusion. The next card played cannot be a number card. Setback, add one card. And Smokescreen. All other players add one card. Alright, so that is our Doctor Strange. We'll look at our foil cards here. Alright, so we got another common and uncommon. We got Wakanda Forever. Black Panther. This is when defeating an enemy who is attacking you. And Reverse Curse from Scarlet Witch. So sneak peek for Scarlet Witch. Reverse, the next time you play a card, it must be a number card. And I didn't really look at the Spider-Man one. So we did have Web Swim, which we've seen. And then we had Photonic Blast. Just choose all the players and add one card and flip a danger card. Alright, then let's hop into good old Scarlet Witch. Control chaos magic with the hands of Scarlet Witch. What she lacks for in burning and skip, she makes up for controlling what cards people play. Use your vast array of reverse cards to control the direction of the game. You may want to hold on some reverses to recover burn cards. Alright. And we'll go through her. So she's got her reds. I gotta get the different outfits in there too, like more of a classic, one of our more updated ones. Here we even get the ultimate version. So, is that right? Oh yeah, look at that. So she actually has a different deck. So instead of having a skip, she has two reverses. And that's going to play through every single color. That is actually, I didn't actually realize that until I kind of went through. So there's a blue, there's one of the greens, and there's a yellow. Yeah, so she gets extra reverses instead of skipping. So she can't skip people, but she has an extra reverse. Interesting. Alright, then let's look at her cards. If I can find her starting card here. Alright. Hexbolt. When you reverse play order, all other players burn one card and you recover one card. So this will help you get your cards back. Now you can notice that neither Doctor Strange or Spider-Man had any recovery actions. So it's kind of interesting how the game plays. It's not like every character has to have, 2 burns, 2 adds, 2 recovers. They didn't force that in there. She's got 2 copies of Probability Hex. Reverse. You may skip to the next player and choose to add one card, and you may recover 2 cards. Chaos Manipulation. She has 2 copies of that. Other players can only play danger cards until the start of your next turn. 3 copies of Hex Blast. Other players cannot play wild cards until the start of your next turn. And 4 copies of the Reverse Curse, which we saw earlier. Reverse, the next card played must be a number card. So it's kind of neat, though, to look at them as being a full artwork. Plus a neat foil there. Alright, so that is Scarlet Witch's main deck. Then her enemies are Alchemia. When flipped reversed while attacking, to start your turn, add 1 card. Play blue, green, or yellow. Ultron. When flipped, shuffle your hand into your character deck and add the same number of cards. While attacking, you cannot use your character's powers. To defeat, play a yellow or red. Baron Strucker. When flipped, burn 3 cards while attacking. You can only play number cards and wild cards. To defeat, play a red or a danger card. And then finally we have Enchantress, which is kind of the weird one. It's not really a Scarlet Witch villain, but I guess she's like a mage villain. When flipped, recover 2 cards. While attacking, you may play a card, burn 1 card. To defeat, play any danger card. Then her events are Recall, shuffle your hand into your character deck and add the same number of cards. Ambush, all other players with attacking enemies add 1 card and then burn 1 card. Rewind, just to reverse. And Unlimited Resources. The next card cannot be a number card. Yes, I was trying to point this out. So, Iron Man also has Rewind. I think that's the only card that is name-wise directly repeated. I mean, some of them probably have the same ability, but they have different names. That's the only one that was also name repeated, which is kind of weird. Alright, then let's look at her 2 foil cards, and that will be the end of this video. So we're going to get Spider-Bite. The full artwork, the next player flips over danger cards until they reveal an enemy card, nor all event cards, then discard them. And Bifrost Blow from Thor. Choose a player to burn cards equal to the number of enemies currently attacking all players. Alright, so those are definitely cool. So I'd probably do myself is I'll probably add these foil cards into the deck. And replace the other ones just because they're neat enough and they're collectible. I just won't be able to get enough to do anything with them, like collect the entire set. I've looked online, people are selling the ultra rares for like $100 or $50. I'm like, yeah, I don't need an alternate art card that badly. Alright, so that was our 3 new add-ons. Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange. Yeah, hopefully they keep making more of these, or they add other properties. Like I can see maybe adding, I don't know, like they've been adding Disney into everything, like Smash Up and all that, so maybe they might add some of that. But even just more characters, maybe jumping into some of the X-Men or more of the, so far they're kind of sticking with the movie-ish themed characters, so maybe they'll hit some more of them. If they do, see you guys in those videos. Bye!